just go straight into the questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So the first one's very broad, but tell us where your interest in dance and theatre first began.
So that it was on a family holiday to London with my and I was 10 years old, and there's 6 of us in our family, so quite a big family. And my mum and dad were like, let's go and see one West End musical, because none of you have ever seen one, and that was Grease at the Dominion Theatre. And I remember we were right at the back, because there were 6 of us, and we're a very working class family, so we were right at the back. And at the very end, I just said to my mum, I want to do that when I grow up. And then I went back home, and my older sister, me and her, did a dance class. She dropped out after the first one, and I carried on. And that was my introduction to theatre. So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like traditional, you joined a class to start with. You saw the theatre first, and then that sparked the interest.
Yeah, I mean, which is why I always say, to people, the importance of panto and things like that. I always say to everyone, all my cast on opening night, the moment you're tired and you give a lazy show will be the time that you've got someone in the audience that you could have inspired. Because that was me. When I was 10, I didn't go to the theatre thinking I even wanted to go and watch Grease. It was after that I then went, this is what I want to do. But before, just before that, 2.5 hours before that, I wouldn't have known if you said, what do you want to do when you grow up? And there was a woman in the actress who played Rizzo in the show. I remember her because Arlene's choreo starts like this, and Rizzo's at the front and all the ensemble are behind, and she starts out right at the front and does a move. And just before lockdown, I actually got to meet her, and I was like, you are one of the reasons why I started musical theatre, because I saw you were front centre, just commanded the stage, and it was brilliant.
Wow, it's amazing that all those later you got to meet her. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was her.
And tell me, what was the road like to becoming a choreographer?
It was an accident, to be honest with you. My plan was to go to college, do a couple of shows, move back down to Cornwall, open up a school and become a dance examiner. That was kind of before I left for college, the plan. I left college and I got a job in the ensemble, and my choreographer, I didn't realise at the time, was part of a big production company, and we got on really well. I worked really hard, and so she offered me another ensemble job, same thing, worked hard, got on really well with her, was professional, was kind to everyone. And then she kind of gave me my first dance captain and assistant roles, which then kind of led to my first choreographic job. So I did my first UK tour choreographing at 23.
Wow.
Yeah, which was ridiculously early, and it wasn't part of the plan at all. So at 23, I had my own kind of show under my own name, which was very odd.
Amazing.
But like I said, all a bit of an accident, really, because the first job I did, that there wasn't an intention of, they'd employ me over and over again. So in the space of 2 years, I did ensemble, dance captain, assisting, and became a choreographer, which was very odd. And at the time, it was very normal. But now looking back at it, it was very accelerated very quickly. So that's kind of how I got into it.
Oh my gosh, wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. And when you choreograph a routine, I've always wanted to know this. How do you start it?
So it depends on show to show. So some dance breaks, for example, require a story to tell by the beginning to the end. So that is kind of, you have to really know your script quite well, in my opinion. And go, right, by the end of this page, I either just want the ensemble to do a really wonderful dance break that's going to get a big round of applause, or it needs to tell this story and to accelerate the show. So it kind of depends. So when I choreographed Hairspray, the beauty of Hairspray is there's an awful lot of dance breaks which don't really need to have a follow line through. But for example, when I did like a Shakespeare play, or I did One Man, Two Governors, the director would say, by the end of this, we need to have seen so-and-so go into the bar, come out, and have bumped into someone whilst they're So it kind of just depends on the show, really. But for me, I love to get inspired by the music. And also, I don't really create a lot until I'm in the room with my dancers, because I always get a feel of energy and what is good for them, rather than going in and going, right, this is it. And if you're not very good at it, tough, get better at it. I'm quite happy to adapt my work to suit my cast.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would say a bit of research and everything, but nothing too cemented that you can't change it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And do you have any like inspirations when you are creating a routine? If somebody said to you, I want you to create a routine, just something that you really enjoy, would there be any dancers or any music that you might go, I love this, I'm going to take that? And
I mean, I kind of go in and out of kind of what I would love to do, if that makes sense. I love the whole I love Smash. I love all the Broadway, like Anything Goes. But then at the same time, you know, I love Fame and all those, like the saxophone dance breaks and things like that. I'm not a massive this might be a bit controversial. I'm not a massive Rodgers and Hammerstein kind of person or choreographer. I'm kind of a bit more dance break, in your face, big lifts, pirouettes and things like that. But I mean, I just love being inspired by watching musicals, you know, when, you know, like we've got the DVDs at the moment of like Phantoms being released tomorrow online from Andrew Lloyd Webber. Smash I love. Yeah, Fosse Verdon when that came out, just things like that, really. I don't think I think when the moment you stop getting inspired, I think our job gets very boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice to take things from everything's evolving, isn't it? So it's
absolutely
take things from yeah,
and also, like, for me, I think, you know, things which I would never think about. So when I saw Come From Away, you know, there wasn't any major dance breaks, but it was ridiculously clever, the staging the choreographer did. And I thought, wow, that is something that I would love to work on myself and get an opportunity to do something like that, to see how I can improve my skills, because it was just so beautifully done, but there was no pirouette in it, or a kick, or a leap, nothing like that. But it was just brilliant.
Yeah. Do you prefer creating a routine, or do you prefer watching it come to life?
I love both. For me, one of the worst points in the rehearsal is opening night, because it's like it's giving the responsibility to everyone else then, and I can't do anything. I'm in the audience. I can't save the show. It is up to everyone else, all the other departments, to now do it, and for me just to sit back and watch. So most opening nights, first previews, I'm kind of watching every scene and every number, just like oh, thank goodness that's done. And then you're like, oh, here comes the next one. Oh, thank goodness that's done. It's only when the curtain comes down after the bows you go, oh, that I enjoyed that. But so for me, creating, I love. I mean, I love watching it, but it's when it's that moment of giving the responsibility to everyone else and you're completely out of control of it going up.
I guess because up until that point, you know, you've even up until opening night, you can change, and you can adapt things, and you can go, okay, that was working, but now it's not, and I don't know why. You know, you've got that control, that power is with you. Yeah, you have to hand it over and go, oh gosh.
Yeah, you can't stop the show with, you know, a sold out crowd and be like, sorry, that I'm not happy with that right now. Or you can't give them notes, you know, in the interval and be like, change that. You know, none of it can happen. You've just got to go, lights down, I'll see you on the other side. So yeah, so I love creating because I get to change it and adapt. But I also do like the opening night when, you know, you do get that buzz, which you just it's just brilliant.
Yeah, you can't. It's like nothing else, isn't it?
No, it is. Yeah, no other job can give it to you.
And is there a show that you'd love to choreograph, or a particular choreographer you'd love to work with?
I would love to do. Oh, that's a really good one. I love to do something like Anything Goes, because I love tap and I love tap shows. I I would probably love something like Footloose or Fame or Saturday Night Fever, something like that. Choreographer wise, there's so many people. Karen Bruce was one of my biggest inspirations growing up. I saw Fame, which she choreographed, and I just thought that was perfection. And I just think she's brilliant. Stephen Mear, I think, is absolutely sensational. Bill Deemer, Carrie Ann, who's a choreographer of Six. I think the things that she does and her storytelling are brilliant. I just love going to see shows I'm not part of and just being inspired by other people's work and visions.
So you said you like tap. Is there a tap dancer particularly that you think, oh wow, that's, you know, incredible work?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. God, so many. I mean, you've obviously got the greats. You've got, like, you know, Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire. And I mean, I'm very lucky that, you know, there's some really wonderful up and coming dancers, like phenomenal tappers out there. And, you know, just kind of going on Instagram and just seeing their show reel, or just seeing, like, I mean, what I love at the moment with all these online classes, I get to see so many people dance that I never would have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Normally. So that's brilliant for me at the moment. I'm not partaking in any of them, but I am getting to watch them and just see what the talent is out there, because you don't normally get to see it until.
I mean, you know, it's not been nobody's enjoyed this time particularly, but it has been a good time for people to have a platform and for people to say, okay, yeah, you know, I haven't had a break, or I haven't actually got to where I want to be yet, or people haven't got to see my stuff, but I can actually chuck it at you now, because the reality is most of us don't have very much to do, so you can't not watch.
No, I think it's brilliant. I mean, I just think it is such an interesting thing to be happening in our industry right now. And, you know, people who, you know, never got the opportunity to potentially teach and just show people their version of a bit of choreography, you know, like, you can just watch it and just go, great, you know, like, I think it's a really interesting time, and, you know, a chance that this wouldn't have happened unless it was for Corona. Yeah. So, yeah.
And has there been a standout moment for you in your career so far where you've just gone, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this?
Yeah, there was a couple. It was when I was on the plane to America to go and work, and I got the job, and I kind of was like, oh cool, I'm off to America to work. And it was when we went off, and the plane was going up. I was like, oh, I'm actually going to America to work. Okay, right, this is actually happening. Because I was very blasé about it, like, oh, I'm off to Miami for 7 weeks to put a new show on. Bye everyone. And I was like, oh no, it really is happening. Like, you do start rehearsals tomorrow. So that was one. I presume my first job my first musical, which was my dream show to be part of. This when I had the Sixth Probe, which was when the band first come together in New Heron, when I was in Fame. When that happened, that was a moment of like, oh, this is it. But still the same thing, when I got offered it, when I was in rehearsals, I was like, yeah, I'm in Fame. And then the Sixth Probe happened, and I just started to cry. And probably finally, I remember a couple of years ago, I was at home in Cornwall during Christmas time, and I got so after the show, you will get a show report emailed to you to tell you what was good, what was bad about the show. And I remember I had 4-5 shows happening at the same time, and one was in America, one was a UK tour, one was in Dubai, one was Panto, and I literally was just there like, oh my goodness, I've got 4 shows going up at 7:30 every night under my name. And that was a moment I went, oh, take a moment and just to take a moment, Philip, and appreciate that, because that won't happen often.
Yeah.
So that was a crazy moment.
Wow. And
yeah.
I always ask people some weird random questions.
No, do it.
The first one is there a food that you just couldn't live without?
Food. I mean, I have a massive sweet tooth.
Okay.
But at the moment, my new favourite things are these white chocolate buttons with Smarties in them. I don't know if they've got to you yet, but
probably not. I live in West Wales, literally.
I say to my mum, I would be like, oh my goodness, have you seen these things? And she'd be like, Philip, remember we're in Cornwall, we get everything 6 months later. So at the moment, this is white chocolate buttons with Smarties in them. I'm quite obsessed with them. Savoury, I mean, I do just love a good avocado and cherry tomato.
Oh, I love tomatoes.
Yeah, yeah, it's a staple food. Yeah, or hash browns.
Oh, okay.
Love a hash brown. I could eat hash browns probably every day. So actually, I'm going to say hash browns for savoury. Yeah.
And what about drink?
Sorry.
What about to drink? If anybody said what kind of refreshment do you want, what would you have?
A daytime drink would just be a lovely cold Diet Coke. Diet Coke is always my rehearsal drink. Obviously water as well, but you know, if it's treat yourself. But if I had to, an evening drink would probably, on a special occasion, be a bottle of Veuve Clicquot to celebrate. But that's very rare at the moment, so it's not like I've got a massive fridge full. But a Diet Coke, a nice cold Diet Coke in the sun is lovely.
Do you know what? It's the simple things. Yeah, I love
lemon. Oh, it really is.
Oh, yeah, with spice. And what would you say your favourite time of year is?
Oh, that's a good one. I would probably have to say, see, I'm not a sun worshipper or anything. So for me, the summer is like too hot. I can't cope with that. Probably spring, where I could, you know, a nice light jacket, but nothing too hot or too cold. All you need is a light jacket. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah.
And if you had somebody granted you with a special power, what would your special power be?
Oh, that would be to teleport.
I was about to say you definitely thought about that one.
Yeah, 100%. And me and my husband were actually talking earlier on. We're really enjoying doing these online classes because normally you do class and then you've got to get on a tube and it's about an hour to get home. But now you go, all right, guys, see you soon. And I'm home. And I thought that is what it would be like to teleport. And also, I think
conversation, I love it.
Yeah, and also like if I wanted to like do a Broadway, like I want to go and see a Broadway show today, like New York, or I want to Australia. I've thought about it. It'd be to teleport for sure.
Brilliant. Yeah, love it. And where would the first place be that you'd go? Where would you go? Where would be the first place on your hit list? I mean, not right now because you can't.
It would probably be, well, it would be to go and see my mum and dad after this, once we're allowed to, and also New York would be the next holiday destination. I love New York.
We were supposed to go, my mum and myself and my godmother, the three, call us the three amigos. We were supposed to be going in May, but obviously we're not now. So yeah, we're just trying to figure out when we're going to be doing that. Because I've never.
It's amazing, the positivity in the city. Like literally, I come back. I always go by myself for a week, and I come back and I just feel so refreshed and happy and inspired. And I just go, oh, thank you, New York.
Yeah. Everybody said, you know, loads of people that have been either for work or pleasure, and they say, oh, do you know, you'd think it would be like this overwhelming, you know, so many people, but everyone says it's amazing, like joy.
Yeah. 100%. It is brilliant.
Can't wait. And my last question for you, I don't know if you can answer it, but when things get back to normal, what is it that you're going to be doing? Do you know what's next for you?
I mean, I will be back at colleges, fingers crossed, teaching. I've got, at the moment, I've got Panto booked in. So I know that's really far away. I mean, there was kind of talks for shows to be happening. Right now, I think it just depends on potential. I think it just depends on how long we're in lockdown for. I mean, I'm kind of in that mind frame of, you know, this will come and go. I'm not in a rush for this to get back out and then to have to all go back on lockdown again. So I'm like, look, if it's another 6 months, I'm willing to do another 6 months to make sure everyone is safe, happy, and well. And, you know, I would just say 2020 was a very odd year in my life. And bring on 2021. But for now, you know, I've got Panto, you know, still talking about a couple of other things, September, October. But like I said, I'd rather make sure everyone is safe before we come out of lockdown.
The talk of it coming out in a couple of weeks and then having to go back because
I'd rather not. Yeah, I'd rather get it over and done with.
Well, no, I think the thing is, you know, I can't speak, I don't know, but for a lot of people, I think now it's become the normal and it's not great, but you're in a routine. Don't break it to then have to come back in because nobody's that, are they?
No, absolutely.
At all.
At all. Absolutely.
No, at all. You've been a star. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed chatting with you.
You're more than welcome, and thanks for asking me.
No worries at all. Well, enjoy your not so sunny day today.
Sunny day, but I could get another wash out there and dry, and it'll be fab. Yeah. Thank you so much for
a couple of loads out as well. It's lovely and warm here in Wales, and we never say that very.
No, let's enjoy it whilst we can, for sure.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. Take care, my lovely.
A huge thank you to Philip for giving up his time. I've just got so many amazing guests. They're just coming out all over the place. Make sure you tune in on Saturday to view my interview with actress Dawn Buckland. Have a great week, stay safe, and I'll see you on Saturday. Take care.